Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. I'm really glad you're here. This is Unit 10, Lesson 71, and it's the final lesson of our unit on capitalization. Today, we look at proper adjectives. Adjectives built from proper nouns, like Canadian, Shakespearean, or Victorian. You already know that a proper noun earns a capital letter. Well, when that proper noun turns into an adjective, it usually keeps its capital. There are a few wrinkles: what to do with the word that follows, how to handle a prefix, and a handful of words that have quietly lost their capital over the years. Let's sort it all out. Here's the plan for this last lesson. First, we'll define a proper adjective, an adjective made from a proper noun, and see why it takes a capital letter. Then we'll cover the wrinkles one by one. The common noun that follows it usually stays lowercase. A prefix or hyphen changes only part of the word. Some proper adjectives are built from two names, and a few old ones have lost their capital entirely. Through all of it, one habit will guide you. When in doubt, trace the word back to a name. If a proper name is hiding inside, the capital almost always belongs. Let's start with the definition, plain and simple. A proper adjective is formed from a proper noun. Take the country Norway. That's a proper noun, so it's capitalized. Turn it into an adjective, Norwegian, as in Norwegian fjords, and the adjective keeps the capital letter. The name lends its capital to the adjective. You see this everywhere once you look. Roman law, Elizabethan verse, Balinese dance. Each adjective grew out of a proper name, and each holds on to its capital. So the rule is beautifully direct. If an adjective is made from a name, give it a capital. Now the first wrinkle, and it's the one people miss most. A proper adjective is capitalized, but the common noun it describes is not. Look at the phrase Italian marble. Italian is the proper adjective, so it's capitalized. But marble is just an ordinary common noun, so it stays lowercase. Only the name-based word earns the capital. The same holds for Persian rug, Cuban coffee, Alpine trail. In every one, the adjective is capitalized, and the plain noun after it stays small. So picture the capital sitting on the name and nowhere else. The name gets the capital, and the noun stays plain. Here's the next wrinkle: prefixes and hyphens. When you attach a prefix to a proper adjective, the prefix itself does not get a capital. Only the proper part keeps it. So we write pro-American and un-American with a lowercase prefix and a capital American. The same goes for pre-Columbian and anti-Darwinian. The little prefix stays lowercase, and the name inside stays capitalized. The one exception is when the prefix begins the sentence, and even then, only its first letter is capitalized. But the guiding idea never changes. Capitalize only the proper part of the word. This next group is a fun one. A handful of words began life as proper adjectives, but have lost their capital through long common use. Think of quixotic, from the character Don Quixote, Herculean, from Hercules, and pasteurized, from Louis Pasteur. Each one traces back to a proper name, yet we now write them lowercase because they've become ordinary, everyday words. You'll even see French fries and Roman numerals spelled without capitals in many dictionaries. Everyday use simply wore the capital away. Because these are decided word by word, the safe move when you're unsure is to check a current dictionary. One more wrinkle before we practice. Sometimes a proper adjective is built from two proper nouns joined together, and in that case, you capitalize both. We write African American literature with a capital on each half because both African and American are names. The same is true for Anglo-Saxon, Latin American, and Sino-Japanese. Each piece comes from a name, so each piece gets a capital. Whether the two are hyphenated or simply sit side by side, the principle holds. Two names in, two capitals out. Let's turn all of that into a quick check you can run on any proper adjective. 1. Is the adjective formed from a name? If so, capitalize it. 2. Does a common noun follow it? Then keep that noun lowercase. 3. Is there a prefix or two names joined together? Put the capital on each name, never on the prefix. And 4. Has the word faded into everyday use, like quixotic or French fries? Then let the dictionary decide. Run those 4 questions, and every proper adjective will line up correctly. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll show you a sentence with a choice about capitalizing. Pick the version that's correct, thinking about proper adjectives and the common nouns they describe. Pause the video and decide before I reveal each answer. We toured a blank near the harbor. Victorian mansion or Victorian mansion? Victorian is the proper adjective, formed from the name of an era, so it's capitalized. But mansion is just a common noun, so it stays lowercase. The correct choice is Victorian mansion, capital V, small m. Her essay explored blank attitudes in the novel. Un-American or un-American? The prefix un stays lowercase, but the proper part, American, keeps its capital letter. So the right form is un-American, with a small u and a capital A. For lunch we ordered a plate of blank. French fries or French fries? Although the word comes from the name France, French fries has faded into everyday use, and most dictionaries now write it lowercase. So the accepted spelling here is French fries, all lowercase. Now the second set. These sentences turn on double names and the nouns that follow a proper adjective. Read each one carefully, choose the correct capitalization, and I'll show you the answer. The class read a survey of blank poetry. African American or African American? This proper adjective is built from two names, African and American. And when two names join like that, both take a capital. So the correct form is African American, with a capital on each word. My grandmother collects blank. Japanese pottery or Japanese pottery? Japanese is the proper adjective, so it's capitalized. But pottery is an ordinary common noun, so it stays small. The right choice is Japanese pottery, capital J, lowercase p. We compared his wit to a blank comedy, Shakespearean or Shakespearean. This adjective is formed straight from the name Shakespeare, and an adjective made from a name keeps its capital. So we write Shakespearean with a capital S. Let's gather everything up. A proper adjective is formed from a proper noun, and it holds on to that capital, while the common noun it describes stays lowercase, as in Persian rug or Japanese pottery. When a prefix or a hyphen is involved, you capitalize only the proper part, as in un-American. And when two names join together, both of them take a capital, as in African American. Finally, a small group of these words, quixotic, Herculean, French fries, have quietly faded into lowercase through long common use. So when you're unsure, let a current dictionary decide. And with that, we've completed Unit 10, Capitalization. Every rule for which words earn a capital letter is now in your hands. Next time, in Lesson 72, we open Unit 11, Punctuation, and begin learning how commas, semicolons, and end marks shape the way a sentence is read. I'll see you there.